And I love talking about the Rangers, and I have so much stuff to get through tonight because it was insane that we just got to get right into it and just start rolling. So, immediately into the game, one thing that I thought to myself was, hey, why is Georgiev in net? Shesterkin just came off of easily the best game by a Rangers goaltender outside of Georgiev's shutout. Why are we not starting him? And it turns out we're going to alternate goalies by game. So we're going to go Shesterkin, Georgiev, Shesterkin, Georgiev, and so on, and so on, and so on, at least for the foreseeable future, and all I could think to myself is, wow, that might be one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. That way, neither of them will build momentum, and they won't be able to get their confidence up, because even if they do well, we're not going to start them 2 games in a row, at least for the time being, and all I could think to myself was, wow, that makes me so angry, I almost want to start shaking. So, that really bugs me, but that said, on to the actual game. 12 seconds in! And Adam Fox takes a holding call, and all I could think to myself is, really? 12 seconds? And we already screwed something up. Good God. That was unbelievably fast, almost, truly. So that happens. Nothing really happens on their power play, thank God. Still nothing, excuse me, through that power play. And I want to say this because I just saw him moving it around a lot, especially during the penalty kill. Jacob Trouba's puck handling skills have gotten insane from last year to this year. He's really improved on a lot of different things. His defense has been fantastic, I've thought. Him and Miller, that line, or that defensive combo is chef's kiss. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. I have no complaints on it whatsoever. Easily probably the two best defensive defensemen. Adam Fox is great all around. He's a threat on offense. So if you're looking at overall player, you might say Adam Fox is the best defenseman on the Rangers. But if you're looking at just purely defensive, it's Miller and or Trouba. They've been both incredible so far this year. So that happened. Nothing much happens with their power play. 15 minutes left, and we get a power play. And I'm like, all right, maybe we can do something with it. Spoiler alert, we wouldn't do anything on power plays for the first 4. It was really annoying. And the worst part about the power plays for us is we controlled the puck the whole time. We had it in their zone constantly. We were moving it around almost at will. We had a ton of fantastic scoring chances, and we just couldn't get it done. It was gut-wrenching. It was heartbreaking. We never let it leave their zone, it felt like. I can't remember a time on the first 4 power plays where it got cleared to our zone, and it sucks because we looked so good. We had so many chances, and we just did nothing with them. So that sucks. 12 minutes and 21 seconds in, and we give up this kind of weird 3-on-2, and anytime I see an odd man rush, I'm just like, oh, we're going to give up a goal, aren't we? And we did. 1-0 Penguins. But maybe it won't be that for very long, for at 12:17, so just a few seconds later, we get a power play. Sidney Crosby off the face-off, holding. We get a power play. I'm like, all right, sweet. That's how you do it. Now we can get back in the game. Spoiler alert, we wouldn't get back in the game right then, but very soon we would. So a little bit later at 8:05, I had to write this down because it was one of the funniest things I've seen all year. Jacob Trouba, as this little passing sequence is starting to happen, a puck is in midair, and Jacob Trouba just whacks it out of midair. And all I could think of is, how do you have that level of hand-eye coordination? That you can see a puck go up into the air and just smack it out of the air with your hand. It was comical, especially with that short of a reaction time. It's one thing when you deflect a goal in, not that already isn't impressive to me, it is. But to just see it, that was maybe a 1/10 of a second or half a second of reaction time. It was insane. Jacob Trouba has really shocked me this year and really surprised me, seeming like maybe it was not an awful deal. I'm not saying it was good or anything, because it was quite a bit of money, but maybe not terrible like most people were thinking after the first year. Almost like you should give people more than the first year of a contract or the rookie deal to prove themselves. Anyway, 6 minutes and 8 seconds left in the period, and the Rangers, they strike back. Philip DiGiuseppe shoots, and the rebound is for Brendan Lemieux. I was just talking about him. I was just talking about Brendan Lemieux. I think it was 2 videos ago how I said he has a lot of potential. He can score goals. And he did. He was just fighting off 2 Penguins, kept going on in. He was like, no, the puck is going in the net. And they're like, no, sir, it isn't. And he goes, yes, it is. And it's a goal. It's 1-1. I don't know how Ryan Lindgren had an assist on the goal. That is what it says. That is what it says everywhere. I do not know how. I didn't even see him touch it. I thought Strome touched it, and then he gave it to DiGiuseppe. And then DiGiuseppe, shot, and then Lemieux scored. That's what I thought happened. Apparently not. Apparently somewhere in there, Lindgren touched it, which is kind of weird to me. I didn't recall seeing that. But he gets the assist, so neato spaghetto. 39 seconds left in the game, or in the period. And I'm like, hey, maybe we'll be tied after the first period. You gotta be kidding. Goal. And it's 2-1. And I'm like, all right, it's fine. It's fine. Maybe we can keep it competitive going into the later periods. And then that second period happened. And that second period was freaking bananas. That second period, man, was just nuts. So, starting immediately, 17:41 left in the period, Pens put a puck over the glass, Rangers get a power play. Guess what? We didn't do anything with that power play. It was the third one of the day, and we did nothing with it. You know what would have been cool is if we, on one of the first 4 power plays, got a goal. That would be helpful, especially at the end of regulation. You see that? So we don't do anything on the first power play. It's whatever. Mika Zibanejad had a one-timer chance and just ate it. And I wrote it down a little bit later. Mika Zibanejad fell down 5 times today. Is he okay? Is there something up with his balance? Does he have a concussion from a month ago? Or not a month. That wasn't a month ago. That was a week ago. Jeez. Is he good? It felt like he was just constantly falling down. It felt like he was Captain Pratfall tonight. So nothing happens with that. And I wrote down here, we are 0 for 4 on power plays, but we've controlled all of them, controlled the puck fully, and we just have not been able to get anything done offensively. It was starting to drive me crazy at that point. It was just absurd. So, then, Brendan Smith gets a minor for tripping, and we're going to be shorthanded, and I'm like, please don't screw it up. And we didn't screw it up defensively. Buchnevich gets a breakaway, and I'm like, oh my god, we can get a shorthanded goal, our first of the season. That'd be great. We can tie this back up at 2. And then Buchnevich just started to get a little too fancy with it, and I'm like, no! When are you ever going to get a chance like that again, Rangers? Ironic. And then just a little bit later on, just about another 30 seconds later, Kevin Rooney, Ranger, this was his first goal as a Ranger. He carries it into the zone, and Miller is right there with him. And they just start passing it back and forth a little bit. Kevin Rooney passes it over to Miller. Miller waits till he's almost even with the goal, passes it back, and boom! I will say this. Maybe I am just a Keandre Miller suck-up. That's certainly possible. But that amount of patience to just wait for the goalie to fully commit over to his side and then pass it back over to Kevin Rooney with a very quick, snappy pass to get that goal was incredible. And it was one of the nicest assists I've seen this year by the Rangers. And, Keandre Miller, I know you might say, well, he was a high draft pick. He was 22nd overall. He has come on this season. He doesn't look like a rookie. He looks like a veteran. He looks like he's been on this team for a few years now. He's looked fantastic. He had 2 points tonight. I'll get to the other one in a moment. But he has completely just blown me away this year. He blew up training camp to the point where people were saying, they're going to essentially be forced to play Keandre Miller with the way he's playing in training camp. And I got really excited. I'm like, gosh, I'd love to see him make some sort of impact this season. And to say that he's made an impact is a massive understatement. Keandre Miller might be one of our best defensemen. And especially with this performance tonight, is making a case maybe for the best defenseman offensively and defensively. Keandre Miller, man. Unbelievable. Chef's kiss. Keandre Miller. I can't stick up for this guy enough. So Strome and Miller got assists for the goal. And obviously Kevin Rooney got the goal. His first as a Ranger, so that was pretty neat. So a little bit later, Brendan Lemieux, can he stop getting abused? I like Brendan Lemieux a lot, and he took another shot to the leg, and then a little bit later, when starting to get off the ice from it, the Penguins tried to clear it, and I'm pretty sure they caught him in the other leg. And it's like, can Brendan Lemieux just stop getting the crap beat out of him every single night? It feels like constantly this guy is just getting destroyed physically, and it's kind of sad. Like, he's a good soldier. He keeps getting back up, so that's fantastic. But it just feels like every night he gets beat up. So, a little bit later on, we give up another breakaway, and it's 3-2 Penguins. And I'm like, gosh, dang it, why can't we just keep a lead? Or at least a tie. But, very soon after, and I wrote down exactly this, you can't keep us down in all caps. I was very excited, as you could clearly tell. Miller passes it over to Trouba. It's in their zone, obviously. Miller passes it over to Trouba. Trouba takes a shot. Rebound. Kreider scores. It's 3-3. I lose my mind. It was, ironically, it was the defensive duo of Trouba and Miller helping get the assists. And Kreider, I will say this, Kreider was really good tonight. He was skating like a madman. He was just going up and down the ice. He had a few incredible bursts of speed. And I was just like, wow, you sometimes kind of forget how fast Chris Kreider is. And I certainly forgot that for a minute. A little bit later on, there was about to be a breakaway, but my man Keandre Miller chased him down and prevented that breakaway. I had to put that in. A little bit later on, Alexis Lafreniere just kind of throws a Penguin's helmet off. And then the Penguin touches the puck, and you're not allowed to do that. And it's a Rangers power play. And the Penguins complaining to the ref of like, he took the helmet off for me. But, you know, I'm not going to turn down a power play, especially with what happened on said power play. So, we get our 5th power play of the night. And I'm like, if we can't score here, I don't want to say we deserve to lose, because I will always root for us to win. But we deserve to lose if we get 5 power plays. And it's not the end, not even the end of the third or the second period. And we do nothing with them. But, buddy boy, we did something with this power play. So it's in the offensive zone. Tony DeAngelo has the puck. He passes it on over to Panarin. Panarin passes it back to Buchnevich, who's on the left side of the goal, or to the goalie's left. Buchnevich passes it back up to Panarin. Panarin with a snipe to the goal. We take our first lead. It is now 4-3. And finally, the scoring for that period comes to an end. That was not the end of the action, but after an absurd period with just like 4 goals scored, it was insane. That period comes to a close. DeAngelo and Buchnevich got the assist. Tony DeAngelo's first point of the year. And Panarin's 4th goal, which is team leading. Artemi Panarin, and I'm not breaking ground here when I say this, but Artemi Panarin is a superstar in this league. And quite a few people thought that the Artemi Panarin contract, paying him about $11 million a year, was maybe a little bit of an overpayment for a very good player. People weren't saying it was a terrible thing or anything. But I saw a lot of people saying, well, maybe that was a bit of an overpayment for Artemi Panarin. And I somewhat agreed with it. But last year, he was absurd in the games he played last year with 95 points, a career high in goals, a career high in assists, and a career high in points. And this year, Artemi Panarin is just, he's playing like the same superstar we had last year. To the point where I look at the $11 million and I'm like, we made a good deal. Like, this was a good deal. He is playing to that $11 million and then some. Artemi Panarin is playing incredible hockey, and I just had to put that in here because he had another goal tonight. And, I mean, it's unbelievable. So, a little bit later on in the second period, 3:20 left, Trouba gets in some penalty trouble because apparently he roughs up a Penguin and they get a power play again. And I'm like, okay, this is fantastic. Why not another power play? Nothing comes of it. Mika Zibanejad fell down again, Mr. Pratfall. A little bit later on, with 7 seconds left in the period, we get a power play. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. You know, only 7 seconds, but that's not enough time to really, you know, drain any time away from our power play. We'll have a nice, cool minute 53 going into the third period. That's fantastic. Kreider, for some reason, decided that that was a good time to cross-check a person into the wall. And with about 1 second left in the period, maybe not even a second left, really, we get a penalty. So, going into the third period, it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey. And I'm like, great. That's going to be painful, isn't it? I was correct. Before that something painful happened, there was some other stuff in the third period. One thing that I thought was incredible, and one thing that really, really, really annoyed me. The thing that I thought was fantastic, 17 minutes left in the period. It's in our zone. Keandre Miller has the puck. He's probably getting ready to start thinking about, who am I going to pass it to? And then, someone stole the puck from Keandre Miller. Keandre Miller, who is a 21-year-old rookie defenseman. Now, does he, A, panic, and in that panic, give up a shot on goal, or B, be composed and calm and just block the shot like a seasoned pro? That's right, it's B. I don't want to keep just praising Keandre Miller, and I know that at this point, you could probably change the channel name to Talkin' Keandre Miller, but I will stop when he stops making incredible highlight plays. Keandre Miller has been probably our best defensive defenseman this season, and I can't get over it because he is a rookie who some people were not expecting to make it out of camp. Like, this was before camp started, obviously. And then camp started, and he just blew it up to the point where I believe there was a quote from David Quinn where he said, I'm basically being forced to start and play Keandre Miller because he has outplayed everyone. Like, this kid has blown me away. I can't say enough good things about him. Now, something that I will complain about was at 10 minutes and 50 seconds left in the period. So, you know how getting hit in the face with a stick is a penalty? And you know how getting boarded is a penalty? Well, apparently, not if you were Ryan Lindgren, who with 10 minutes and 50 seconds left got hit in the face with a stick and boarded within about 3 seconds of each other. Now, most of the time, I'm excitable when I'm watching a game, and I'll start screaming at the refs. But in this one, I was just confused. I'm like, really? You didn't catch that? Really? You kidding me? How is that even possible? You didn't even have to catch both penalties, just one or the other. Like, I'm not even going to be picky and say give us both of them, but just give us at least one of the two. We get neither, and instead, 10 seconds later, we give up a goal to tie it at 4. Now, I've been very critical of Alexander Georgiev. I thought he looked pretty good tonight. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I thought he looked fine. He made a lot of really big saves. He gave up 5 goals, but I thought he looked pretty decent. This goal was depressing because he stopped the first shot. I believe he got a little something on the second one that bounced off of the pole, and just none of the other defensemen were able to clear the first shot. And because of that, I mean, if you give someone 3 shots, or 2 players because the other guy came rushing in, if you give players 3 shots with no one there other than a goalie, and you are all 3 of them within about yay far of the crease, they're going to go in. Like, I can't be too critical of Georgiev at that moment. Because he made some pretty good saves earlier in the game. It was just unfortunate. And that was pretty much it for the third period. Nothing else really of note happened. I didn't make any notes for the rest of the third period, so we go on to overtime. And I mean, not much happened in overtime. There was a 3-on-1 that the Penguins whiffed on that I thought was hilarious, and I couldn't stop laughing because it was 3-on-1, which granted they would go on to win it, but if they didn't, I'd still be laughing about it. So here's what happened, right? Panarin, Zibanejad, and Tony DeAngelo are all on the ice. 3 very, very good players. I don't think you're going to find people are going to say they're bad players. You might say overrated, some people might, but I would not. I would say they're just 3 very good players. But here's the thing. They're good players. They're not superheroes. And when you make them be out there on the ice for a solid minute and a half, almost 2 minutes, they're going to give up a goal, especially 3-on-3. And if I had to pinpoint the exact moment that I thought to myself, and that's the game, it would be, it finally looks like they're going to be able to get a change and get some fresh skaters out there. It's going behind the net. It looks like DeAngelo should be able to get it. And Georgiev decided to play the puck. And I love goalies, right? Goalie is my favorite position. I love goalies. I'm a goalie rights activist. But Why do goalies always say, I'm going to help, and then play the puck? Why do you do this? Why not let people whose job it is to play the puck, play the puck? He goes back there, he plays the puck, he just shoots it way past Tony DeAngelo, Penguins get it back, and then the Rangers just kind of, and I mean this in not an insulting way, I mean it in a you were tired and I understand way, just kind of flopped around like deers getting tased to try to stop some pucks. And this was all four of them at the time, Georgiev, DeAngelo, Panarin, and Zibanejad. But nothing could stop it at that point. It was over. Penguins win it 5-4 in a crushing loss. We'll play them again Monday night, I believe at 7. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Rangers.